Right, hello and welcome back to a brand new video now. Today I'm going to be talking about another Tarantino film. I'm going to be trying to do as many Tarantino film reviews as possible in this next week. I'm going to be doing Jackie Brown tomorrow, but Django Unchained is for today. And I hadn't seen this film until very recently. It's his second most recent film other than The Hateful Eight, and it was really, really well done. It's a Western spaghetti type film about a slave who goes out to try and basically rescue his wife, who has basically been separated through the slave trade. And he has got to go and help Christoph Waltz with his bounties, and in return he'll help him get his wife back. So first of all, Django is a really good character. I think that Jamie Foxx did great in this movie. He didn't have to, I wouldn't say act much, because he didn't actually have loads of dialogue, because most of the time he was just like on the horse or just kind of looking around. It's Christoph Waltz who did most of the acting in this film, along with Leonardo DiCaprio and Samuel L. Jackson, but his character was still really well done, and he was great as the character. And then I'd say the three standout performances in this film was Leonardo DiCaprio, Samuel L. Jackson, and Christoph Waltz. These three characters are so great in this film. Any of them could have won an Oscar, and everyone would have been happy with it. Christoph Waltz, to start off with, is a great Tarantino actor. He's great in Inglourious as the Nazi officer. He's not been in much else actually, but regarding Tarantino films, I think that's the only one. But in this one, he just stood out completely. He was so amazing in this film, and one of the best parts about this film is just watching that dentist tooth bobble around as he's driving it. I honestly don't know if it's just me, but that thing was just the most fun thing to watch in the world. Christoph Waltz was a great bounty hunter. He was great in whereas in Inglourious he was like this menacing kind of guy, and you never really saw his full potential until he strangled Diane Keaton on the floor. And it's not Diane, Diane something. It might be Keaton. And all these things happen, and in the film he's really kind of, aggressive in the way he looks at people. He doesn't seem like he would hurt somebody. He'd order other people to hurt him, but just looking at him, he's a scary guy in Inglourious. And in this film, he was also really kind of, menacing in the way that he was so fun. It was menacing. Like, there's a scene where he's in the bar, and this guy's walking outside, he's like, oh, go get the sheriff. He shoots the sheriff, and he's like, well, how is everybody? And he's like, just kind of a bit too enjoyable. I would be wary of him if I saw him on the street, basically. But Christoph Waltz nails it in this film. He definitely should have won an Oscar. And Leonardo DiCaprio does great as the villain. And the thing is, this film kind of has the villain, which is Leonardo DiCaprio, but then it has Samuel L. Jackson, who, in my opinion, is the worst villain, because he's one of the slaves who feels like he's above all the other ones. And just the way he kind of backs Leonardo DiCaprio up in everything he says, he's always like laughing at his jokes and stuff. And he was just like a bit of a suck up, and he was really creepy in this way that when he was talking to Django's wife, it was just kind of menacing again. And Leonardo DiCaprio was really well done. When he smashed his hand on the table, he actually cuts his hand. I thought that was great, how he kept on acting. All the other actors look shocked. You should see Christoph Waltz in the corner. He's like, literally doesn't know what's going on. I thought that was great. The fact that he could bleed for a film is ridiculous. So all three of those were great, and when they're in the same scene together, sometimes it could get a bit messy, but in this film it was just like ridiculous. Those scenes were just so standing out amongst the other ones. I think it was those three actors that did it. So all three of them were amazing together. 3 hours long didn't feel boring or slow. In fact, it went quite quick. Not abundance of things happen, but there's enough to keep you occupied, and there is a lot of things that intriguing in the way that they're good to watch. Like, for example, he goes back to his where he worked, and this guy whips his wife and then looks at him and says, like, I like the way you beg. So when he shoots him and he says, I like the way you die, the blood kind of sprays on the flowers behind him, and it was just like so visually appeasing, just seeing the the blood spray on these white flowers. It sounds really weird, but it did look very cinematic, let's put it that way. And also the blood effects in this film were amazing. In Kill Bill they were great, but in this film they were just like, I don't know, ridiculously over the top. In Kill Bill it was ridiculous, but in this film it's like they get shot and it just like goes everywhere. The Candyland massacre at the end is one of the best scenes that Tarantino's ever done. It was just so action packed. It was so over the top. Django jumps through a door, pressing against some other guy who goes through it with him, jumps back, shoots 2 guys, and starts like crawling as gangster music's playing. That is just so cool to watch. That scene was amazing. So all the actors did a great job. It was very cinematic. It didn't feel long or slow or boring. I thought it was an amazing film. The music was good. It wasn't as good as his other films, I'd say. But Django Unchained is a great film. You should definitely watch it. If I had to rank it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 9.5. It's not my favourite Tarantino film, but it's one of the best. And it's one of the best westerns, in the modern times. So if you haven't seen Django Unchained and you like Tarantino or you like spaghetti westerns, check it out. It's on Netflix. It is great. And yeah, I'll be doing Jackie Brown tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the next video.